Well, this little video is about encroachment and what maybe I can do about it. And I'm not talking about a political sense to stop growth. Anyway, this whole line is my property line. And literally 2 months ago, this was a open field. I mean, it was all trees, just like you see going up the mountain. Now, probably 2 years ago, top of that mountain, down the valley, the flat area back there, turned into a subdivision. That's phase one. What we're looking at here is phase two. And I thought I had a couple more years for anything happened, but it's pretty crazy. I mean, just look at all the clear cut going on here. So this is going to be a subdivision. It's going to back up to my property, and from what I saw on the plots, this is all backyards butting up to my property. So it's something I'm gonna have to deal with, and I'm gonna go over on my side of the property in a minute and show you what one of my initial plans are. But let me show you my Mustang grapes. Look at that. So we're definitely gonna do some Mustang grape wine this year. Usually these grapes are ready about July 4th. For those of you in Central Texas, the native blackberries are generally Mother's Day, and the Mustang grapes are generally July 4th. But on the blackberries, you got to scout it out soon and get there before other people, which is kind of neat that people are out collecting them in today's fast-moving society. And then you're also competing with the birds. But anyway, as far as this subdivision, you know, it's happening, and you know, really all you can expect is, you know, stand-up people doing the work. And so far, other than it's happening, which is out of my control, and like I said, I'm not here to fight it. People got to have a place to live. They seem to be stand-up people. So you can see here, like this is the main water flow going to my whole highway frontage. And you can see that they've built a gabion here to stop, so I just don't get flooded with sediment, and that's something I really, really appreciate. In fact, you know, there's a lot of talk about what people can do for water retention and stuff, and I've noticed with these subdivisions that every one of them has a big settling pond incorporated into the subdivision. And that's got to be a governmental action, because some of these settling ponds there could probably be 10 houses there. So, you know, you're sacrificing $1 million or $2 million worth of houses to do it. So government is doing a little bit. We had a interesting thing happen out here, and this was right before, I think it was 2 Fridays ago. Neighbors called and said, there's a fire, and you know, we're freaking out because, you know, we've got sheep and horses and cattle and chickens and turkeys. Anyway, there was a single tree, and I think it was here, but they left a single oak tree, kind of like how they left these oak trees. And I mean, it was too dark and it just started drizzling, but best I could tell, the flame was shooting up 8-10 feet tall. And anyway, I checked it out the next morning, and it looked like a lightning strike. I mean, there again, you know, just these are stand-up people doing this subdivision from what I can observe just looking around. But my first thought was, because I had done a video and I noticed through my property line, there was like somewhere over here, there was like 3 dump loads of asphalt shingles that were just dumped on the ground. I don't know if somebody snuck in here one time and illegally dumped. But my first inclination was, okay, the idiot created a brush pile over the asphalt shingles, set it on fire, and you know, the asphalt shingles, because it's asphalt, caught on fire. And so I had this bad vision. It was like a burning tire. You're not going to put the fire out. Anyways, I got to quit thinking bad things. It turned out it was just a tree got hit with lightning. It caught on fire. The problem is there was probably surrounding areas probably had 2 inches of rain that night, and we got like 1/3 of an inch. But yeah, the fire department was like, well, isn't the rain going to put it out? And we're like, well, it's not raining. Anyway, so all good on that, but they seem to be good partners, nothing bad to say. I'll probably, well, just the water tower there is a good reference, and I'll probably show you it from my front yard. Anyway, so getting back to the reason for this video is what to do about this. You know, the reality is, and this is probably going to remain the drainage area for the whole subdivision, so it's still going to hit my land. So let's go on my side of the land and see what I can do about it. Okay, so we're now on my side, and not only do they have the gab in, but they have full silt fencing that's all along there. And this particular pasture, I've had my 3 baby cows out here for about a week trying to eat what's edible, and I'm fixing to mow this area, but I wanted them to eat whatever grass they could. Anyway, we did have to, I was concerned that the baby cows were going to get up underneath there, so we put 3 T-posts in the cattle panel there. But anyway, that's the water flow coming in. Now let's turn around here. Another issue is this is Highway 190 that just got designated as Interstate 14. So I don't know what that's going to do. But anyway, at this point, at every entry point of water onto my land, I've built a sediment pond, or just a settling pond. I don't know what you want to call it. But I want the water to come in and not be a pond that holds water, no keyed dam, no clay, just dig a hole, let the water settle in. And I want to do the same thing here. The only reason I haven't is probably because I didn't know where the water flow was going to be. But as I see the work, I mean, it's obvious they're going to keep the same flow. But because of, I mean, you know how it works, the roof effect. I mean, all this land where the rain settled in is now, let's say it's going to be 30% roof area. I mean, I'm just making that number up, but I'm going to have a more flow, a more torrential flow, a bigger flow than I have had in the past. So what I want to do is come through here, and I found a natural area over here. I mean, you can already see this is tornado damage, or the tornado wasn't here, but it was a couple of miles away, but it was several years ago. Yeah, but you can see the rutting here, so you can tell we get a pretty good water flow. But when you look back here, because of this tree, I don't know if I can get it far enough back, but I'd say there's about a 6-foot drop to the center of this, and then while it gets 6-foot drop, it goes a lot further up. So what I'd like to do is get my hand back, build a dam across here. Like I said, not a dam to be a pond, but just take all that water, soak it in the ground. That'll take care of any insecticides, poisons, or whatever that the neighbors end up spraying on their lawns and stuff. Anyway, that's kind of my plan. I'm gonna have to get the laser level out and see what kind of height variance I have here and start designing it. But like I said, the plan is let the top of the dam be the fence, probably some kind of culvert system underneath it where it'll hold water but give it an overflow point, and then still have another overflow past that. So that's kind of my plan here. This will, like I said, this will take care of the last flow onto my property, as far as trying to clean it a little bit. Okay, I'm looking at it a little bit harder, but like I said, higher elevation towards the highway, and then as I pan left, it's a more gradual taper. But if I keep going around, look at that. We got a nice little elevated hump where the mobile home is, and maybe that's the plan, that we continue this height and come around this way as an arch and kind of box it in. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm just talking out loud right now. I got to figure it out and put it on paper. You know, one thing I got to make sure of is I've got ample overflow, because like I said, if we end up with these 5 or 12 inches of rain event in one day, that's going to be a lot of water running through here. All right.